Yeah, Trudeau. Justin Trudeau, folks, would have to be one of the worst politically correct, virtue signalling buffoons out there. So let's go and have a look at some of the buffoonish stuff he's done or said, starting with the most recent.
Canada, as you know, has been closely following the situation with Ms. Rahat Al-Qunun. Our diplomats in Thailand have been engaged with our partners and allies, particularly with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. The UNHCR has made a request of Canada that we accept Ms. Al-Qunun as a refugee, and we have accepted the UN's request.
So Ms. Al-Qunun, if you recall, was the young Saudi woman who made her way to Thailand and tried to claim asylum in Australia based on her allegation that she was abused by her family and that she'd also renounced Islam and was afraid to go back to Saudi Arabia.
That we grant her asylum. That is something that we are pleased to do because Canada is a country that understands how important it is to stand up for human rights, to stand up for women's rights around the world.
Oh, stand up for women's rights around the world. You're such a nice man. But the problem, Mr. Trudeau, is this. Canada has not vetted this girl or this woman because they can't. Saudi Arabia does not have a database about abused women. So what you've done, Mr. Trudeau, is this. You've opened up this loophole to the West. Now you're going to get thousands of people claiming abuse, and the West will not have any way of validating these claims. Anyway, let's go and have a look at this.
It's legalizing marijuana. You're pushing that forward next year, and it may be in place by the summer of 2018. One thing I've noticed in all these, is the government going to make money out of this? Is this going to be something you tax?
Of course they are.
It's the one bit which isn't very clear to me.
Well, it's not very clear to you because we haven't focused on that. The reason we are choosing to legalize and control marijuana is because the current system is not protecting our kids. It's right now easier for an underage Canadian, a teenager, to buy a joint than it is for them to get their hands on a bottle of beer. And you know, whatever you may think about the relative harms of marijuana versus alcohol or cigarettes, marijuana is not good for the developing brain. It's not good.
So marijuana is not good for the developing brain, so he says. So Mr. Trudeau, is that why you legalized it?
For our kids, we need to do a better job of making it more difficult, at least as difficult as it is to access alcohol.
So now he's trying to say he's trying to make it more difficult for the young kids to get it. Again, Mr. Trudeau, is that why you legalized it? Anyway, let's not forget this.
Dogged by questions about Sikh separatism, the Prime Minister visited the holiest Sikh temple on earth in the Sikh-dominated state of Punjab. Normally.
So let's have a look at this. You guys notice Trudeau here is dressed in Indian attire, while all the Indians are dressed normally. My God, Trudeau is a pretentious fake. He reminds me of all the backpackers that arrive in Asia every year, and as soon as they get there they dump their jeans, etc., and put on Asian attire. Well, it just shows you Trudeau has not developed past that. Now let's not forget this.
Here is one of the silly things that he said on camera. He was asked, someone wanted to ask him a question about mankind. The person asking the question happened to be a female student, like a woman. So Justin Trudeau mansplains to her that she shouldn't use the word mankind. Oh my goodness, just watch this moron.
Maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to...
We'd like to say people kind, not...
We like to say people kind. Oh, do I need to say more about this buffoon?